to either make your wired winch remote control and how to repair a broken remote control on an existing winch. The new style of the Harbor Freight winch comes with this type of controller, 2 buttons, thick wires that go to the battery and to the winch. If you have the newer one and you want to make it remote control, you'll need to buy a solenoid pack. I'll post a picture and a link in the description. And a wireless remote setup. These are available from Amazon. It needs to have the 2 relays. I'll post a link in the description and put a picture. If you have the old style Harbor Freight winch, it would have a control box like this in between the winch and the battery, and it came with a remote like this. In this case, the remote system doesn't work, so you go into the box and this is the remote system. This is the solenoid pack. You'll reuse this. And buy this setup here to replace this. So basically there are 2 types of controls that are available on most winches. The remote control setup with the box, or a wired setup with wires. If you look at the wires coming out of here, they're very thick. If the wires are thin coming out of the control box, then you might very well already have a solenoid pack mounted by the winch or in the winch or somewhere. If you end up buying the solenoid pack that I posted a link to, it's a little bit different than the one I'm going to be using. See if you can see that. Pretty close though. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to, well, I'll show you. This one here is your negative going to your battery. That one behind it is positive going to the battery. And then the outer ones go to your winch. So with my solenoid, one of the first things I have to do is run this wire to that middle terminal. It's missing. On the terminals that are going to the battery, which are the mid ones, so this will be the ground. This is the little jumper cable I just made. It'll connect here to here. Remember to run a wire off of it because this needs to be powered as well. The negative goes in there, the positive will go in there. Same thing with the positive. I lost that screw down there, but the positive wire is also going to have the wire running off of it to power the other, the positive for the board. I'm using short wires that'll go to the battery and to the winch because I will put these connectors on. I think these are called Dean connectors. They're like for drones and stuff. But I have them soldered in. That way when I'm done with this assembly, I can take it off the mower. The winch will still be on the mower. The wires will still be on the mower. But this unit will be off the mower. 2 reasons. I ruined one of these control boxes, pressure washing. It got wet and ruined it. So this way I'll be able to keep the control box in my truck, and depending on which zero turn I get stuck, I'll just have the appropriate connectors already in place, and I'll just put the box on, get it unstuck, and then take the box off and put it back in the truck. Just make sure the leads that are going to the battery, if you're going to do something like that, make sure you put the female end. That way the positive from the battery doesn't have any chance of arcing when it's underneath the mower bouncing around. These are kind of a pain to solder them in, and it won't look very good, but they work. And like I said, I already have the connectors on the mower, so I'm just trying to get it to work. On the wire that is going to the battery that's going to hook up, I put one wire. Actually, I need three. I need one for the voltage in, and I need one for each of the relay voltage in. So 3 wires go to this one. These wires are what they call test leads. They go into a breadboard. I like to use them because they have these nice pieces here that are easy to stick into the screws. You could just strip the wire off and stick them into the screws. I have these, so I'm using them. Okay, so when you're hooking this up, the positive leads, the 3 that we did before, one will go into the one marked NO1. The other one will be NO2. And then the other one will be V+. Negative goes here. And you see C1 will go to one side of the solenoid. C2 will go to the other side of the solenoid. Okay, so it's all pretty much hooked up. Once you apply power to it, you want to hold the model button, which is right here. It's marked model. Push it one time because you want it to act in the momentary mode, which means you push the button and then release it, it turns off. If you put it in latched mode, you push the button, it just keeps going. You have to push the button again. So, momentary. If it's in latched and you accidentally hit the button, it keeps going whichever way it's going. If it's retracting the cable, it may just break the cable or rip the winch off. Who knows what it's going to do. It comes with complete directions if you buy the one that I put the link to. Since I'm losing, I lost that screw on this one here. I just have a alligator clip holding it together for now, just to make sure everything's going to work. I'll get a screw on there. I'll also use a wrench and really tighten those up good. And I will coat those with some dielectric grease. Okay, so I have it hooked up to the power supply here in the shop. The voltmeter will show you. I'd like to mention now that the red and black wire going to the winch isn't necessarily red positive, black negative. It just depends on which way it's trying to move. So don't worry about that. But so here's what you have here. If you push the A button, you get to 13 volts. If you push the B button, you get to negative 13 volts. So it will go in or out depending on which way you set it up. If the buttons aren't set up in the direction you like, you can either change the leads here on the solenoid, this one and this one, just swap them, or where you're actually hooking up the leads to the winch, you can swap those. I personally like this one up here, opposite of where it's going to hang from the keychain. I like that to be go out, and I like the one on the inner part to bring it back in. That is just a personal preference. I ended up printing a 3D box for it and gluing the components all inside. Pretty happy with it. Lid fits right on here. I'll just put a little bit of my hot glue gun, kind of glue the lid on, and I'm going to keep it in the truck. I got to solder the ends on here. I'm not looking forward to it. It's a real pain. These little connectors. I wish I could find something better, but in the meantime, I'm just going to try to do it. And hopefully the next segment, I'll plug it into the side-by-side and everything should work fine. Okay, I got those ends all soldered in. And I kind of coated them with my hot glue gun. It kind of makes them more secure. I'm going to wrap them up with some black tape. I'll show you that in the next segment. So what I came up is I wrapped these ends with some black tape. Keep in mind, this whole control box is going to be in my truck. I tested it with the power supply and my voltage meter. Everything is good to go. This is the bigger of the two mowers, 0 turns, that I will be using this unit on. Keep in mind, this thing probably weighs anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 pounds. And the weird thing about a 0 turn is these back wheels not only give you the movement, but they are also your steering. So even if one wheel has traction, it might be turning you into a bad area. So let's get this thing hooked up and see if it'll work. In case you're wondering what this white bag looking thing is on the seat, that is a DC heating pad that I just installed. I can't wait to try it out. Here in Northwest Florida, we do have some chilly mornings, and these vinyl seats are very cold. I just kind of tape the controls to the side, and I put alligator clips to the battery. I'll take it off once it warms up. Okay, we're here at the mower now. These were those connections I was telling you about. This is the one that goes up to the winch. That one goes to the box. The other one's back here a little ways. Kind of hard to see. But anyway, you just plug it in. And it should work fine. I'm going to take one of these powerful magnets and I'm going to glue it to this box. So when I'm jerking this thing around, trying to get it unstuck, I don't inadvertently run the damn thing over. But you can see that's out. That's in. All works perfectly.